I'm sick of watching Caitlin getting attacked. If the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Griner just called Caitlin Clark a trash effing white girl. Caitlin Clark has been picked on and abused ever since she entered the league in 2024, and now Brittney Griner is...
Hello, and welcome back, my dear and wonderful viewers. Today, I'm back with another brand new, exciting, and interesting video that you won't want to miss. So, make sure you stay with me until the very end. Now, without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into today's story. What would happen if one of the greatest basketball players ever witnessed the WNBA's most talented young star being singled out through questionable tactics? You're about to find out because Steph Curry's shocking remarks about Brittney Griner's actions toward Caitlin Clark have completely shaken the basketball world. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a professional athlete singled out the way Caitlin Clark has been throughout her career? Steph Curry's perspective on the WNBA reportedly changed completely after what he witnessed during the Connecticut Sun game. According to the narrative, this is the part of Steph Curry's viewpoint that Brittney Griner finds most damaging. In many ways, Steph Curry sees similarities between Caitlin Clark's situation and experiences from his own career. During his era, Steph Curry became one of the league's greatest players, and because many opponents couldn't match his extraordinary basketball IQ and shooting ability, they often tried to challenge him with physical play. However, Steph Curry highlighted one important point. This is where Brittney Griner's situation becomes especially interesting. Steph Curry recognizes the difference between true championship-level competition and what he believes he witnessed involving Caitlin Clark. In his words, "It was the most cowardly act I've seen on a basketball court in decades." You heard that right. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 83% of our viewers still haven't subscribed. It's completely free, takes only a second, and means the world to us. So, have you subscribed yet? If you have, thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the video.
Said many times that Caitlin Clark got roughed up repeatedly by defenders throughout her rookie year last year. It was attempted bullying, trying to break her spirit, intimidate her, put her in her place, get even with her for all the attention she was getting. But this season, it appears Caitlin is more committed.
Steph Curry reportedly reacted quickly and strongly after watching the footage of Brittney Griner making contact with Caitlin Clark from behind, while Clark was trying to recover after being poked in the eye. Having competed against physical defenders throughout his career, Steph Curry understands better than most what true competitive intensity looks like. Even so, according to the narrative, he believed Brittney Griner's actions crossed the line of sportsmanship and competitive integrity. But listen to what Steph Curry reportedly said about the timing of that shove. According to the narrative, this is the part Brittney Griner finds most damaging. The basketball superstar raised a point that many fans had already been discussing, yet few people with his level of fame had spoken about publicly. Taking cheap shots at a player who's completely vulnerable and not looking isn't the same as playing championship-level defense. Steph Curry pointed out that every era of basketball has been physically demanding. In his view, when you have a problem with someone, you face them directly instead of waiting until they're turned away before making your move. According to the narrative, that's what bothers Steph Curry the most about Brittney Griner's actions. It also claims that Steph Curry's criticism dealt a major blow to Brittney Griner's reputation. Brittney Griner's response after the incident reportedly frustrated the veteran Boston Celtics player even more. Rather than apologizing or acknowledging that she may have gone too far, Brittney Griner suggested that the media and fans were judging her unfairly, saying, "Damned if I do, damned if I don't." However, Steph Curry reportedly became even more frustrated after hearing those remarks. According to the narrative, Steph Curry believes that true champions and basketball legends always accept responsibility for their actions, especially when another player's safety could be at risk. He said Brittney Griner's response reminded him of athletes who knew they couldn't compete at the highest level, and therefore looked for other questionable ways to influence the game. In other words, the narrative claims that Steph Curry portrayed Brittney Griner as a player who relied on questionable tactics, instead of matching superior talent through basketball ability. This is where Steph Curry's analysis becomes especially interesting and highlights what he sees in Caitlin Clark. According to the narrative, Steph Curry recognizes the same rare qualities that helped make him one of the greatest players in basketball history: exceptional basketball IQ, remarkable clutch shooting, and, above all, the ability to make teammates around her better. But as someone who values the principles of basketball, he also sees something that genuinely concerns him. Instead of focusing entirely on reaching her full basketball potential, Caitlin Clark is constantly forced to stay alert for cheap shots and questionable plays. According to the narrative, Steph Curry believes Brittney Griner's approach represents everything that is wrong with players who choose to target Caitlin Clark instead of pushing themselves to match her extraordinary skill or outwork her through preparation and dedication. He described the repeated physical targeting of a vulnerable player as a troubling pattern. According to the narrative, Steph Curry called this the worst kind of basketball competition he had ever witnessed. As a result, his reported comments quickly became a major topic of discussion throughout the basketball world. Steph Curry reportedly compared Caitlin Clark's situation to the physical challenges he experienced during his own career. However, he also pointed out what makes Caitlin Clark's circumstances different. He noted that Caitlin Clark, at just 22 years old, is already facing more adversity than many athletes experience throughout their entire careers. And she's doing all of it while carrying the responsibility of becoming the undisputed face of women's basketball.
While this is taking place, Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. This is her quote. I don't know if you saw this or not.
But Steph Curry's reported remarks about Brittney Griner's future in the WNBA, which are now trending across social media, have surprised many people. According to the narrative, Steph Curry believes that if the WNBA allows players like Brittney Griner to target superstars without facing consequences, it sends the message that average players can remain relevant through questionable tactics instead of improving their basketball skills. He argued that this creates a dangerous precedent that could discourage the very players who are raising the league's standard. Steph Curry even went as far as saying that the league's failure to properly address these incidents sends the wrong message to young fans watching at home. In his view, watching the WNBA should teach young athletes about skill, dedication, and sportsmanship, rather than how to target weaker opponents. However, the most significant part of Steph Curry's reported remarks was his prediction about Caitlin Clark's future despite these challenges. He claimed that Caitlin Clark has been shaped by adversity and that every hard foul, questionable play, and attempt to intimidate her only strengthens her determination to prove herself through basketball talent alone. Steph Curry compared Caitlin Clark's situation to his own rookie season when opponents constantly tested him physically. He pointed out that Caitlin Clark is dealing with all of this while also carrying the unprecedented media attention and expectations that come with being one of the most recognizable players in WNBA history. That's why Steph Curry's support for Caitlin Clark is presented as especially important. According to the narrative, he isn't simply defending a gifted athlete. He is defending what he believes to be the true spirit of basketball. In his view, Caitlin Elizabeth Clark represents the qualities that make the game special: talent, vision, composure, and competitiveness. At the same time, he believes certain actions by players such as Brittney Griner could be harmful to the sport. The basketball superstar reportedly stated that the WNBA is at a critical turning point. According to the narrative, the league has two choices: either protect and promote its top players, allowing stars like Caitlin Clark to reach their full potential and elevate the league, or continue allowing less skilled players to rely on questionable tactics to remain relevant. Steph Curry's reported message was clear: the future of the league depends on the choice it makes. But this is the question everyone is asking. Will the WNBA take Steph Curry's reported concerns about protecting Caitlin Clark seriously? Or will it continue allowing players like Brittney Griner to use questionable tactics that some believe harm the league's reputation? Let's continue the discussion in the comments below. What do you think about Steph Curry's reported criticism of Brittney Griner's actions? Do you think he was too critical, or do you believe his comments were justified? More importantly, do you think the WNBA will eventually take stronger steps to protect its biggest stars? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one of them. If you enjoy basketball analysis like this that cuts through the noise and explores what's really happening in the game, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. According to the narrative, Steph Curry's remarks could ultimately influence how Caitlin Clark is treated in the WNBA. The basketball community continues to watch the situation closely.
Respectfully, Brittney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about.
My first inclination is to say that this person is not a female.
As this story continues to unfold, one thing becomes increasingly difficult to ignore. The conversation is no longer just about one game, one hard foul, or one controversial incident. It's about the future of women's basketball, the standards the league hopes to uphold, and how its biggest stars are treated when the spotlight is at its brightest. Few athletes have entered the WNBA carrying the level of expectations placed on Caitlin Clark. Millions of people watch every game she plays. Every move she makes is analyzed from every angle. Every success is celebrated, and every setback becomes a headline. That's what comes with being one of the biggest names in basketball today. Meanwhile, veteran players across the league continue competing at the highest level, bringing years of experience, determination, and pride to every game. The WNBA's challenge is ensuring that intense competition never crosses the line into unnecessary or dangerous play. Fans want intensity. They want rivalries. They want authentic basketball. But they also expect fairness, consistency, and respect. Steph Curry's reported remarks have sparked widespread debate because he understands what it's like to perform under constant pressure. Throughout his remarkable career, Steph Curry faced some of the toughest opponents and fiercest defenders basketball has ever seen. However, his message wasn't simply about physical toughness. It was about protecting the integrity of the game and making sure basketball skill rather than controversy remains the center of attention. Whether you completely agree with Steph Curry's reported perspective or believe the situation has been overstated, there's no denying that his comments have fueled discussion. Fans, analysts, former players, and media personalities continue debating what should happen when the league's biggest stars become the focus of physical play. Should officials enforce the rules more strictly? Should the league impose harsher penalties? Or is this simply part of professional basketball? Everyone seems to have a different opinion. Caitlin Clark's response, however, has remained clear. Rather than allowing controversy, physical defense, or criticism to define her career, she has stayed focused on basketball. She continues to compete, show up every game, and demonstrate why so many people believe she represents the future of the sport. Her resilience is one of the biggest reasons her supporters continue to stand behind her. The WNBA is receiving more attention than ever before. Television ratings continue to climb, arenas are packed, social media discussions grow every day, and new fans are discovering women's basketball for the first time. Situations like these affect not only individual players or teams, but also the league's reputation around the world. As the season moves forward, every game becomes increasingly important. Every Caitlin Clark appearance will be closely watched. Every controversial play will be analyzed. Every officiating decision will be questioned. And every game will add another chapter to what has become one of the most talked about seasons in WNBA history. Now the biggest question belongs to you. Do you think Steph Curry's reported comments accurately reflect the current state of the league? Do you believe the WNBA is doing enough to protect its biggest stars while still allowing physical, competitive basketball? And what impact do you think this entire situation will have on the league, Brittney Griner, and Caitlin Clark moving forward? I'd genuinely like to hear what basketball fans around the world think. So share your thoughts in the comments below. Respectful discussion is what makes this community special, and your opinion could even be featured in a future video. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth basketball analysis, exclusive updates, and the biggest stories involving the WNBA, NBA legends, and Caitlin Clark, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and never miss another upload. Basketball history is being written every night. Thank you for watching and for your incredible support. As we wrap up today's discussion, one thing is clear. Moments like these continue to spark passionate conversations throughout the basketball world. Whether you agree or disagree with the opinions shared, basketball fans everywhere are paying close attention to how the league, its players, and its biggest stars continue shaping the future of the game. Every game, every headline, and every debate gives fans something new to discuss, and that's one of the reasons following the WNBA is so exciting. Now it's your turn. What do you think about everything we covered today? Do you believe the league is moving in the right direction, or do you think there are still important changes that need to be made? Leave your thoughts in the comments below because I read as many of your comments as possible, and your feedback helps shape future videos on this channel. Let's keep the conversation respectful, thoughtful, and focused on the game we all enjoy. If you enjoyed this video and want more WNBA news, analysis, and updates, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Clark Update. Your support helps us continue bringing you fresh basketball stories, game breakdowns, player updates, and the biggest headlines from around the league. We're growing every day, and with your support, we'll continue building one of the best basketball communities on YouTube. Also, be sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. We cover the latest WNBA news, trending stories, and the biggest developments as they happen, so you'll always stay up to date. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of this amazing community. I truly appreciate every view, every like, every comment, and every subscription. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video with another exciting WNBA update. Until then, thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.